We've faced blizzards, floods, even the scorching desert, and let me tell you, when disaster strikes, it's the prepared who survive. Today, we're talking about the things that disappear faster than a gazelle in a lion's den when crisis hits. These aren't luxury items, these are the essentials, the lifelines you need to make it through. We're talking food, water, shelter, the lot. Remember, surviving isn't about luck, it's about preparation. So, if you want to be ready for anything, stick with me. We're about to equip you with the knowledge to face any challenge. Let's get started. Out in the wild, I've drank water from elephant dung, squeezed it from moss, even siphoned it from my own boots. But trust me, you don't want to be in that position. Water is life, plain and simple. In a crisis, clean water sources can dry up quicker than a puddle in Death Valley. That's why you need a stockpile of bottled water, enough for at least 3 days, ideally more. But bottled water won't last forever. That's where water filters come in. These bad boys can turn even the murkiest puddle into a drinkable source of life. Invest in a good quality water filter and learn how to use it properly. It's a skill that could save your life when the taps run dry. I've eaten things you wouldn't believe to survive, grubs, bugs, even a raw snake or two. But in a crisis situation, you need to keep your energy up, and that means proper food. Canned goods, rice, beans, these are your new best friends. They're packed with energy, last for ages, and can withstand even the harshest conditions. Think about variety too. You'll need protein, carbohydrates, and fats to keep your body and mind sharp. Don't forget about comfort foods either. A bit of chocolate or a sugary treat can do wonders for morale when the going gets tough. Remember, a well-fed survivor is a strong survivor. We've secured our water and rations, good, but surviving isn't just about existing, it's about living. Proper meals need essentials. First, cooking oil, it adds calories and flavor. Next, the humble salt, vital for electrolytes and taste. Finally, spices transform meals. A taste of home is priceless. Out here, injuries are a matter of when, not if. A simple cut can turn nasty if it gets infected, so a well-stocked first aid kit is non-negotiable. Bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze, these are your basic allies in the fight against infection. Don't forget over-the-counter medications. Painkillers will be a godsend for those aches and pains from exertion, and anti-diarrheal medication can be a lifesaver if you're dealing with dodgy water situations. Antihistamines are crucial too, especially if you're dealing with unexpected allergic reactions to plants or insects. Remember, we're in survival mode, not a controlled environment. Having these medical supplies on hand can be the difference between a minor setback and a life-threatening situation. Be prepared to patch yourself up and keep moving forward. We're talking about survival. And in a crisis, hygiene often gets overlooked. But trust me, staying clean is about more than just feeling fresh. It's about preventing infections and maintaining your overall well-being. Toilet paper. It's the first to vanish from the shelves in an emergency, and for good reason. Hygiene is non-negotiable, even in a crisis. Stock up. Soap is your next line of defense. Regular hand washing can prevent the spread of germs, especially important when clean water is scarce. Carry a small bar or some biodegradable soap with you at all times. And let's not forget about oral hygiene. A toothbrush and toothpaste might seem small, but a toothache in the middle of a crisis is the last thing you need. Stay clean, stay healthy, stay in the fight. We've covered the essentials for survival, water, food, and shelter, but in a real crisis, you've got to think about more than just the basics. You need to see in the dark and communicate. That's where batteries come in. When the power grid goes down, batteries become invaluable. Stock up on AA, AAAA, C, D. You never know what you'll need. Head torch, emergency radio, useless without batteries. Keep batteries organized and ready to go. When the lights go out, be the one with the power. Sure, batteries are great, but sometimes the old ways are the best ways. A simple candle can be a lifesaver, not just for light, but for warmth and morale. We're talking basic, long-burning candles, and don't forget the matches. Waterproof matches are best. What if you could bring some modern conveniences back online? That's where a portable generator comes in. It can run a refrigerator, power lights, and even a small heater. But remember, generators need fuel. Never operate one indoors, and always ensure proper ventilation. Preparation is key. A generator can give you an edge when disaster strikes. We all know that a good torch is essential in any survival situation, and believe me, I've been in a few. But in a real crisis, when the power grid's down, you can bet your last energy bar that flashlights and lanterns will be flying off the shelves faster than a startled gazelle. Remember, darkness can be your enemy, disorienting you and masking dangers. A reliable flashlight, especially one with a long battery life, is worth its weight in gold. And a good lantern can turn a pitch-black room into a beacon of hope. Look for durable, weather-resistant models, and always pack extra batteries because the last thing you want in a crisis is to be plunged into darkness with a dead torch. Remember, staying visible can be as important as staying warm and hydrated. Out here in the wild, shelter and warmth are non-negotiable. A good blanket or sleeping bag can be the difference between comfort and misery. Don't underestimate the power of staying warm. Hypothermia can set in quickly and be deadly. Thermal blankets and quality sleeping bags are essential. A warm blanket can be as comforting as a hot meal in a crisis. We all need shelter, a place to feel safe and secure. In a crisis, a good tent or tarp becomes vital. Think of it as your mobile command center. A sturdy tent shields you from rain, wind, and snow. It provides privacy and security in a disaster. We all know fire is essential for survival. It keeps you warm, cooks your food, and can even purify water in a pinch. But in a crisis situation, finding dry tinder and fuel can be like finding a needle in a haystack. That's why it's crucial to stockpile firewood and other fuel sources like propane. Trust me, you don't want to be caught shivering in the dark with a rumbling stomach when disaster strikes. A well-stocked supply of firewood and fuel could be the difference between a minor inconvenience and a major catastrophe. Remember, keeping a sustainable source of heat is vital. It's not just about comfort, it's about staying alive, so get out there, gather what you can, and store it properly. Because when the unexpected happens, you'll be thanking yourself for being prepared. Out here in the wild, a good multi-tool is worth its weight in gold. It's like having a toolbox right in your pocket. Need to cut some rope? Fix a broken strap? Prepare food? A multi-tool can handle it all. And don't even get me started on the importance of a sturdy knife. From defense to building a shelter, a reliable blade is essential. In a crisis, these tools become even more crucial. They can be the difference between getting by and barely surviving. Look for a multi-tool with a strong blade, pliers, a saw, and a screwdriver. As for your knife, make sure it's sharp, durable, and comfortable to hold. Remember, these tools are extensions of yourself. Choose wisely and take care of them. You might think I'm joking, but duct tape is a lifesaver in the wilderness. Seriously, this stuff can fix anything. Ripped tent? Duct tape it. Broken shoe? Duct tape it. Need to create a makeshift splint? You guessed it, duct tape it. In a crisis, duct tape's versatility becomes even more apparent. It can patch up leaks, secure shelters, and even be used for first aid. It's lightweight, durable, and incredibly adaptable. Make sure you have a good supply of duct tape in your emergency kit. It's one of those items you don't realize you need until it's too late. Trust me, when the going gets tough, duct tape will be your new best friend. We've covered a lot of ground, but trust me, a good length of rope is as vital as any tool in your kit. Remember that time I had to abseil down that cliff face with nothing but some scavenged vines? Having proper rope would have made it a walk in the park. In a crisis, you never know when you'll need to secure your shelter, create a makeshift hoist, or even fashion a trap for small game. Paracord is ideal, strong, lightweight, and you can separate the inner strands for finer tasks. Don't underestimate the value of twine either. Securing food packages, making repairs on clothing, even using it as tinder in a pinch. It's the unsung hero of a survivalist's pack. Pack it well, you'll thank me later. We've talked about the importance of being self-sufficient, but never underestimate the value of information. In a crisis, knowing what's happening on the outside is crucial. That's where a good radio comes in. Forget those fancy smartphone apps. When the power grid goes down, you need something reliable. A wind-up radio or one with a solar panel will be your lifeline to the outside world. Keep those batteries topped up and tune into emergency broadcasts. Information about evacuation routes, weather updates, even potential rescue efforts. It could be the difference between life and death. Stay informed, stay aware. We rely so heavily on technology these days, but what happens when those systems fail? Imagine your GPS goes blank in the middle of nowhere. Terrifying, right? That's why every survivalist worth their salt needs a good old-fashioned map and compass. Forget those flimsy tourist maps. You need a topographical map, one that shows elevation, water sources, potential hazards. Learn how to read it, study the contours, understand the lay of the land. And the compass? Your trusty guide, always pointing north. It doesn't need batteries, it won't crash. It's the ultimate tool for navigation. Learn how to use it in conjunction with your map. Practice orienting yourself. Trust me, when the going gets tough, these tools will be your lifeline. We've talked about the essentials for survival: water, food, and shelter. But in a real crisis, you also need to think about security. Firearms and ammunition can be crucial. Protecting yourself and your family is essential. Learn to use firearms safely and legally. Always prioritize safe storage to prevent accidents. Firearms aren't the only option for personal safety. Sometimes a less lethal approach is best. Pepper spray is a powerful deterrent. It's compact, easy to carry, and effective. A quick burst can disable an attacker. Know how to use it. Check expiration dates regularly. Stay vigilant and prepared. Shelter is crucial, but your first defense is what you're wearing. Durable clothing and sturdy footwear are essential. Think practical layers for changing weather. A waterproof jacket, breathable base layers, and a warm hat. Leave flimsy trainers at home. You need boots for rough terrain and ankle support. Keep your feet dry. Comfort is important, but durability is king. Choose clothing that withstands wear and tear. We've covered the essentials for short-term survival, but in a long-term crisis, you need to think like a true survivor. Relying solely on stored supplies won't cut it. You need a sustainable source of food, and that's where gardening comes in. Now, I'm not talking about manicured lawns and rose bushes. We're talking about hardy, nutritious crops that can thrive in tough conditions. Think potatoes, beans, squash, the kind of stuff that kept our ancestors alive for centuries. And don't forget seeds. Heirloom non-hybrid seeds are crucial. They reproduce true to type, meaning you can save seeds from your harvest and plant them the following year. That's sustainability, folks. Trust me, in a prolonged crisis, a packet of seeds becomes more valuable than its weight in gold. We all know the importance of hygiene, but in a crisis situation, it becomes a matter of life and death. Disease can spread like wildfire, and trust me, you don't want to be caught in that inferno. Stock up on disinfectants, bleach, soap, and hand sanitizer. These are your first line of defense against harmful bacteria and viruses. Remember, a clean environment is a healthy environment, and don't forget about sanitation. Proper waste disposal is essential to prevent the spread of disease. Digging latrines and using disinfectant are crucial steps in maintaining a hygienic living space. Remember, in a survival situation, cleanliness is not just about comfort, it's about staying alive. We often take for granted the convenience of modern society. ATMs, credit cards, online transactions, they all disappear in a flash when the grid goes down. Cash is king in a crisis. Keep a stash of small denominations on hand for those essential transactions. But remember, even cash can become worthless if hyperinflation hits. That's where bartering comes in. Identify valuable, tradable items. Think alcohol, cigarettes, lighters, ammunition, medicine, things that hold their value in a crisis. These can be your currency when the traditional system collapses. It's about adaptability, folks. Be prepared to think outside the box, and remember, resourcefulness is just as valuable as any physical item you can stockpile. We've covered the essentials for survival: food, water, shelter, but surviving is more than just the physical needs. Keep your mind sharp, your spirits high. Books are a window to another world. A good novel can transport you. And it's not just books. A deck of cards, a board game, these can provide hours of distraction. Surviving isn't just about staying alive, it's about staying human. Out here in the wild, we rely on our instincts and strength, but we don't always face challenges alone. We have loyal companions by our side. In a crisis, don't forget your four-legged friends. Their needs are critical. Food, water, medication, essentials for our furry companions. Remember, our pets are family. We've been through a lot together, haven't we? 25 items, each one a crucial tool in your survival arsenal. They're lifelines. Remember, being prepared isn't about being paranoid, it's about being responsible. Stay strong, stay prepared, and I'll see you out in the wild.